Jonathan's
Should
first
pop
time. You
up.
got to give him a break.
Hey, did you do brother shit tonight at golf or what?
I was fucking hitting him like a motherfucker tonight.
The beers or the golf ball?
Yeah, the beers or the golf ball?
Both.
Well, what's up, Crash It Nation? This is Jonathan Wood. This is the Crash It Podcast. We thank you for joining in. We've got Nick Long, Jacob Wood, and Bo joining us. Bo is a Power Wheel driver, and he raced the other night, and we wanted to talk to him a little bit about how it went. How'd it go, Bo?
Good.
How'd it go?
Good.
Went good?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about your Power Wheel. What is it?
Fine.
It's a race car.
It's a race car.
It's a race car.
Mm-hmm.
So how'd it go out there? Did you get hit or did you just walk away with it or what?
I got hit.
You got hit?
Mm-hmm.
Did it slow you down or you just keep on going?
I kept on going.
And tell all of our listeners that are joining in right now on YouTube or Spotify later on, tell them how you finished up. How'd you finish?
How'd you do? How'd you do?
Good.
Did you win? Did
Yeah.
you get first, second, third?
First.
You got first.
All right.
I won a race. I got first.
That's good. So was there a lot of competition out there?
Yeah.
There was?
Yeah.
How many cars were out there?
I don't know. 3.
Well, you gotta tell all these people that get them Power Wheels out there so you have more competition. So you quit walking away with all these wins.
I'm a grave digger in competition.
Do you have anyone you want to thank for building your Power Wheel with you?
Who do you want to thank? I want to thank Dad, Mom, me.
But Bo, he's gonna sit in on this one and join us. We got Nick Long. Nick, kind of tell us how you've been doing this last couple weeks. So let's jump back. A couple weeks ago, we had the bump and run at Elton. You were able to get the win. Was that your first win?
That was my first win other than a derby. It went pretty well. I was pretty excited about it. I couldn't have been more happier.
Oh yeah, you won the Gut and Go Derby too, didn't you?
At
And
at Mocane, like 2 years ago, yeah. That was my first actual win of anything, and after that one, I was like, "This is cool. Got to keep this going."
so tell everybody, have I haven't had you really on the podcast, have I?
No, I'd never been on before.
Okay, that's what I thought. Tell everybody how you got started with either figure eight or demo derby. What got you into
Really,
the sport?
really, I got started when Zach started, and he told me to build a car. And my cousin Jake Timbrook, he was a big start of it all too. And they were both hounding me about getting started. So I ended up building a car one year, and I I've ran with it ever since. So
Oh, what'd you do first, demo derby or figure eight?
I did figure eight. I did figure eight for 2 years before I ever had a demo car.
All
My
right,
first
sweet.
my first demo was Jeff City against a bunch of people I pretty much knew, and it was pretty cool. But I like racing.
So 09L, where'd that come from?
Uh, Pretty much my dad grew up with the number '09, and our last name's Long, so I kind of inherited it when I was younger, and I took it over when I was playing baseball and stuff like that, and I just took it to racing.
So, so does a little bit of the competitive spirit come from sports background?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
So how many years you been racing, Nick?
I want to say it's been about 5 years, pretty close to it since I started. I think it was like 2018, 2019 when I started.
And then so your bump and run and Eldon was your first win racing. And
Yeah.
then
Hold on. That would also be the first win out of that shop because somebody else can't produce coming out of that shop.
No, 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 that's wrong.
that's wrong.
Corey won the
won
bump and
Eldon
go
a
at
couple
Eldon
years
last
ago.
year.
I don't remember that one.
The bump and
I
go
do.
last year, Corey won. I had COVID. I couldn't make it.
Oh, that's why he won. That makes sense.
Corey won 2 years ago. But
Bumping runs don't go
Oh
count
shit, there's
towards the
a
official win column. We're talking about figure eight races.
okay.
well, still. So Watson Card Racing is the team that you're a part of. Tell everybody that's joining in, listening, what is Wild Card Racing?
Wild card racing is pretty much just a group of guys that have grew up together that has been around New Bloomfield forever, and we all got to know each other pretty good, and we all hang out. We have a good time together, and we just decided to throw something together this year and have a good time with it. I grew up with Zach, Corey. I mean, Braden and all of them were a little bit younger than I was in school, but we're all just having
There's a
fun with it.
and there's a lot of people that listen to this podcast or watch it that have they really don't follow along what's going on other than
Yeah.
anything outside the podcast. And it's listened to nationwide, stuff like that. So there's a lot of people that just listen to this as they're going down the road that don't really follow along. So kind of tell the listeners, what are you even driving? Like what kind of car?
I drive a 03 Chevy Cavalier. It's pretty much, I mean, this one this year is probably the best Ecotech I've ever had. It runs really good. It's got a 2-tune Ecotech motor in it, and it's got a little tune on it, and that's about it.
And there's a lot of people that sit there and watch that car. It runs really good. I mean, you got a really fast car this year, and a lot of work went into it over the off season, and a lot of people don't realize the amount of work that goes into these cars that we're building.
Oh,
And
yeah.
for the newer guys that are coming into the sport that are, they're new and they're just kind of throwing cars together. What's your one piece of advice that may like kind of help them out through this next off season to kind of improve?
I would definitely say do not cut any corners. It even on welding or wiring or anything like that, make sure you go through each and every step. Do not cut the corners because that's the one thing that'll screw you in a feature. I mean, really, you mess up one wire and it's not right, that can screw you in a feature. I'd much rather go through one car 3 or 4 times and just make sure that it's right and build it to the max that I can, that I'm allowed to for the rules, and go from there and see what happens.
Like how you said that, to check it over a couple times. We see it all the time. I've been guilty of this as well. You might just overlook the car needs gas. So,
Oh, I've been there. I've been there before.
but yeah, that's a good advice for all the people that listen to this that are trying to get into the sport or trying to make improvements for next year. What do you think of the season so far, as the figure eight racing goes? And
I think it's been a great season. I'm loving it. Everybody's fast now. There's no such thing as like back when I first started. There was such thing as an easy heat and stuff like that. No, every heat is fast now. It's fun. It's enjoyable. You have to work your ass off just to, make a feature anymore. I like it.
that's crazy. So let's kind of take a step forward. So this week Lucky Sevens had 4 shows, and Montgomery City was on a Wednesday night.
Yep.
So pulling in to Montgomery City, did you go last year?
Yes, I went last year.
Okay. So that was the first time that I've ever been to that facility. And I was pretty impressed with the size of the track. It's a long track. And man, you guys were getting some speed up through the centers and stuff like that. And it really bolted well for your car because it's like a rocket ship out there. But
Oh God.
everyone tells me you got a built motor. So,
Yeah.
but we know. We know.
It's got 335,000 miles on it. That's the best built motor I guess there is.
So,
Nope.
so
Montgomery City was an awesome track. I loved how it turned out. It was tacky. I mean, once we got through the heats, it turned out to be a great track. I mean, it was really nice. I couldn't have been more happy with the track.
and they had a great crew there that was willing to. They're like, "What do you want? Like, what do you want us to do?" We're like, "Scrape these corners, water them corners." And it looked like it was really coming along throughout the night. Obviously, sometimes the track looks awesome up from a distance, but when you're out on it, it could be pretty rough. So it's
Oh
good
yeah.
to hear. We had a lot of people say they really liked it, and they hope they get to go back again. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
good to hear.
That track was great. I'd run there every time they had one.
Man, I love it. This chat is cracking me up. Um,
Can't see
Someone
it.
said, "Hey, Dylan Cardwell, you want to weigh in on Montgomery City?"
Frickin' Dylan.
But it was overall, I think beginning of the night it started out. They had a little rain right before you know, earlier in the week before the show, and
Yep.
we came in and there was some, standing water on some parts of the track, but overall, I mean, even when you walked on it, but when we were setting up the transponders and stuff, the transponders for all those that are wondering what the heck transponders are is what we count the laps with for our figure eight drivers. It's just how we track who's doing how many laps and we keep a fastest lap and all that in our system. So, um, but when we were walking the track before, we're like, man, this thing's hard. It's going to be a good track.
It definitely was.
And Jacob has a lot to do with the way the tracks always turn out because he's the one that tells them when to water it, where to water it. He's the head flagman. He tells us everywhere we go. He's always in charge of the track, and he does a great job. So, um, Jacob, how do you think, other than the water truck breaking down prior to the show, but that was an unforeseen thing that no one can control.
It
What do you
happened.
think about? What do you think about how Montgomery City went?
Oh, that track's always great. We try to keep it as hard as we can. Everybody got their V treads that try to dig in, so we can keep it slick where they just slide on top of it. We will be fine. I thought that track was great.
Yeah, and I was before I didn't realize how wide that track was from like the top. You don't really realize it when you're just standing next to it, and then you start stretching that cable across there. You're like, man, this thing's freaking wide. So
Yeah, the track always looks small from a video or from the stands, but when you're out there walking it, it's a lot wider than everybody thinks.
and they're giving it to him in the chat. Just, or are they all just sitting around? Are they all over there just screwing
No,
with you? Or-
no, it's
oh,
me, Bo, and Corey right here. That's it. I'm sure they're giving us hell.
Dylan Cardwell gets one win and he thinks he's the fucking man of the hour.
Gets one win and gives one away to Nick.
What?
That's what we have to put on it.
yeah. So kind of looking back on Montgomery City. So in the feature, Dylan Cardwell was winning that race by quite a bit.
Was,
Quite a bit. And he cut
was.
the tire a little too close and broke
He
it. So
he definitely had me in that race. He was running really good that night.
yeah. So tell everybody kind of how how the other drivers outside of wild card racing kind of, since you guys have been more competitive the last, this year, you guys really stepped up a notch. Have you seen a change like in the way they treat you or anything like that? Or is it just more of like these guys are going to be here, they're going to be the ones that are be hard to beat tonight? Anything like that?
That's kind of a hard question, but yeah, I feel like the wild card as a team has had a really good year this year, and we can't we don't plan on changing that. We plan on racing as hard as we can every time that we're there. That's why we're there, just like everybody else. But I don't feel like there's any, you know, threats or anything like that. I feel like people are a little nicer once you're nicer on the track and everything with them and stuff like that. I feel like they treat you the same. And I've been in that position where I've been on the other end and gave it to them and stuff like that. But I just feel
No
like we're having a
threats.
great year.
No threats to wild card. I like it. You guys
I
are the dominators.
no, that's not what I'm saying.
No, we got it on. We got it on recording, baby. Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. I just feel like we're having a good year. Everybody's pretty much racing the same. There ain't no problems here or there. I feel like we're having a good year.
Yeah, I
I'd
feel
say
like
after what you did to Xander in Jeff City, everyone might be a little scared of you, Nick.
I mean, I'll tell you that night I had way too many road sodies, and I shouldn't have been out there probably, but it was okay. But now I'm changed. I don't have that many before I go out there or anything like that. So
What is
Captain Corey.
what's the official wild card suspension protocol on that? What's Captain Corey have to say? What's that
Captain Corey
conversation
told
like?
me 3 before I go out.
Well, you should try to do 4 before Jeff City just to test it.
4 before Jeff City. Well, I could do 6 before Jeff City and probably still send it.
Yeah, buddy.
What's up, High Octane? You guys
No,
are doing great.
I don't plan on doing any of that this year. I'm trying to just race and have a good time with it, just like everybody else is. I'm really enjoying this year just with being smart with how racing is and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I think it's been you see everyone's their camaraderie in the sport. I just love it. I love walking through the pits anywhere you go. I mean, I probably get in trouble too much for spending too much time talking to people down there instead of setting up things, but the camaraderie is just amazing, and I've just, it makes me happy every time I walk through the pits, and that everyone's talking and having a good time, and when they've strapped that seatbelt, them belts on, or and that helmet on, it's game time, and everybody knows it's you see the respect on the track, but I love it when there's a last lap battle going on and someone's going to spin someone for the win. You never know. Everybody knows it's coming. Like the
yeah,
both drivers would do it to each other. They don't get upset about it really. Um, and if they do, they don't show it. I mean, they still get out and shake hands. And we had an awesome race in the bump and run on Thursday night, or was that? It was Friday night in Versailles.
Yeah. Let's go through that. What happened Friday night at the bump and run? Who got the white flag? I don't remember on that one. Who was leading that race?
Corey. Corey was leading the race.
Corey Burton, 28B.
Yeah.
Then what happened?
He just got pushed out of the way a little bit.
Okay.
The bump and run. The
Yeah,
name
he
of
got
the
bumped.
event got him.
He
He got
got
the
bumped
bump
and
and then
run.
the run.
That
Jordan
was a
Piter.
pretty clean pass, really. He just left it open for Jordan, his non-teammate. It's kind of weird.
I think his throttle was stuck open actually. So
Corey's? Yeah, it was. I wasn't there that night though.
Thank God. You'd have been disappointed. Oh, I'm just kidding, Corey. God damn it, quit texting me.
I'm looking at him right now.
No, that
So-
was a great race. What other sport will you get that? Everybody there knew what was coming, and them guys were great sports afterwards. That's just awesome.
That is awesome. That's what makes the sport right there.
Yep, it was
Yeah,
it
so
was cool. It was fun to watch.
if we're going to talk about the bump and runs, so the heats were the fire department at Versailles watered the track down a lot, and everyone was struggling for traction really, and there was a couple cars that were getting around better than others, and everyone was just kind of filling out the track and their cars because we didn't get a ton of cars, so everybody made the feature. And we even let a couple of the Hobo figure eight cars come in. We had a Hobo figure eight that night as well. They got to come in, and the ones that signed up to do both, they got to come in and start tailback and kind of race with the guys that were there to bump and run. And we had, I don't know, we probably had 15 cars out in the feature, and it's a smaller track. So I mean, it looked like. Once the race started getting going, we had a couple cars that were just dying out because some of these cars that are showing up, they don't run the best, and they're kind of sputtering out on people, and they're creating obstacles throughout the race. And I felt like we had a great 4-car battle between Corey, Burton, Jordan Piter, Alan Fisher, and there's a couple other people that was fighting for fourth, but it was a great battle. A lot of action. Like we'd see cars that they would be broke down, and so the guy up front would just get pushed into them. I mean, they would just. You'd start going in the corner, you'd see him try to slow down. The guy behind him would just lay into him, and they'd just end up in the trunk of someone else's car. So it just created. All the cars died on one corner of the track, so that corner was like the difference maker each and every lap. People would get hung up in different places, and it's kind of like who chose the best line this lap would come out on. We had a back and forth battle between Corey and Jordan for probably the last 10 laps. We had a red flag, and they kind of looked over at each other, and that was pretty much when it seemed like it went on for me. So,
They turned up.
they turned it up.
That's what I heard.
And them guys got to be back the next night. Well, Corey didn't, but there were some cars out there that had to be there for the next night, and maybe that's why we didn't get a ton of cars because everyone was still trying to fix their cars from Montgomery City, and then turn around. We have Versailles in a couple days, and that's always rough. I mean, especially when you're doing some major changes.
It makes for a long week, but it was a good week.
So were you there Saturday night? You won the figure eight, or let's see, Saturday night this week.
Saturday
Did you
night.
go?
Yeah, Saturday night I went. I just kept getting caught up in lap traffic, or not lap traffic, but just traffic. I couldn't go to the intersection or anything. And I was just running what I could, and I ended up blowing a brake line. So when I was coming to the intersection, I was trying to be a little more cautious with going through there and everything. So it is what it is. It didn't matter to me. I was just trying to at least get up there as far as I could, but without taking my own car out pretty much. I didn't want to junk my car just on something in the intersection. I'm happy for Zach and Anthony. Zach took first and Anthony took second, and they ended up bringing it home for us. So that was cool to me.
So was that your first win Wednesday night?
Wednesday night was my first figure 8 win ever. Yeah.
First figure 8 win ever. You end up top 10 in Versailles. Looking at the points, you're sitting on the top.
Yeah.
For the first time. I think is this the first time you ever led points? I know your first year or second year you were up there in the top 10, but
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think it was.
remember you being this high. How's that feel, and does that kind of change strategy going into
Uh,
the shows coming up? Triple
it
Crown,
it
right around
it feels really good. I mean, I've never been here. I mean, I'm just racing. I'm just trying to have a good time and everything like that. And I'm finally doing good, and I'm just gonna run it until I ain't got no more left in the cars and stuff like that. But yeah, my first year that I actually got top 10 in points was like 2019 or 2020, something like that. And I got top 10. But that's when like cars were simple. You don't have as much time or anything in the build and stuff like that. I mean, now it's nuts. It's nuts. You got, I mean, mine and Corey's car took 6 months to build, and now we're having fun with it. So we're just gonna go from there. But the points deal, I was going for top 10 this year because I think it'd be fun. But you know, whatever happens, I'm still gonna be happy with. I'm just glad to be out there on the track. So
That's the attitude to have. We hear it every year. I mean, I feel like when people are like, "Hey, I gotta win points," they stress themselves out and almost burn themselves out
yeah.
trying so hard. And it's all about having fun.
Oh, definitely.
We That's what we want to see out of every driver that comes. Is we want them to have fun.
Yeah.
And especially when your families and stuff get involved. I mean, you guys have a huge section of the crowd there to support you guys, and I mean, as a driver, that's got to make you feel great. I mean, that they're backing you up and supporting you guys.
Yeah.
So so Versailles, I wasn't there. Jacob and I were at Columbia during doing the Derby, and so kind of how you're gonna have to talk, like explain it to us. So So I'm guessing you made the A if you made the top 10.
Yeah. So for sales, I went out there for the heat, and I had it was Blaine and Alan Fisher, I believe, and there was a couple others. Everybody had a good heat out there, and I kind of got stuck on the fucking tire, and then I couldn't catch Blaine, and I ended up getting second. I went out there for the feature, and once the feature started, I was kind of mid pack. It was a bunch of good drivers, hell of a drivers out there, and every time I went around that, I just seemed to keep getting caught up with something. I just couldn't stay out of it, and you know, it happens, but I
Well,
couldn't do anything about it.
did a lot of cars finish the race, or was it an unusual lot of broken down stuff? Or
No, I felt like more people finished last night or yeah, that was last night than most. I mean, it was a pretty good night. I felt like there was 10 or more that finished probably.
yeah, I looked at a video, but it looked. How many cars were out there for the feature, Joshua?
18,
That's
I think. I
Yeah.
believe so.
Yeah, there was 18 cars out in the feature and 12, I think, drove off.
Okay.
that's pretty good. That's good numbers still.
Yeah, and the track, the track did Versailles things on that one side. It just went to shit.
out.
When we start moving tires around to try and avoid the hole that's always down there, it really makes this track even smaller than it was. So it just creates a little bit more chaos. But
It kind of throws you off a little bit too.
yeah,
So did we move a tire? Was it moved a little bit? So
It
you had
moved.
like a diagonal figure 8 going on?
It moved twice since I had ran in the heat, and it was a little different, but that ain't no big deal. I mean, you just gotta adapt to the track at that point. So
Honestly, that's what makes every driver that's out there great is the adjustments that they have to make on the fly. The tracks are
definitely.
always changing, the lines are always changing because you never know when a car is going to break down where you've been running at. And
Exactly.
you got to make adjustments to that. So the people that have, that adaptability factor, you are the ones that you see do a little bit better because they're adapting, they're making changes every lap. They're seeing things that some people don't see. So
Right.
Jacob Dylan Cardwell said he's on the way to your
I'm on the
house, I
what?
guess.
Dylan Cardwell.
Said he's in Elton. I'm heading to see Jacob. That's what he said.
Yeah.
He'll
I
probably get the same
I,
cars between
I
now
seen
and
him at
then.
fucking Chili's the other night. He knows exactly where I live. Tell him the door's unlocked. Tell him come on in. All right. So is it my turn to ask some questions?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes. All right, Nick, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Bo, I need to see Nick's luscious locks for these. All right. So Nick, when did the hair start?
2017.
So does your wife like it?
Oh yeah, she loves it.
Love
Handlebar.
it.
Hey, it used to be luscious back in the day.
Fuck, it looks luscious to me. Is it getting thin?
Yeah, I'm getting thin. I'm gonna go bald before long.
So
That's what I should have did. I should have just never cut my hair because it just falls out now.
I'm getting there, Jonathan.
all right, Nick,
Oh, I just wear hats.
let's see that hair without the hat. Oh my.
It's pretty rough. That's why I always wear a hat.
All right, so I have a new list of questions. You ready for this? What's one driver you will not stop for going through the intersection?
Oh god damn. Which driver will I not stop for in the intersection? That's a hard one.
You're such a shit starter.
Yeah, he is. I'm gonna say Dylan Cardwell.
I fucking love that answer.
Not answer.
What's one driver you will stop for going through the intersection
Corey
other than
Burton.
28B the Papa?
Well, I would say Zach, but I smoked him at the last one before this one, so I can't say him. But the one that I will stop for, probably Braden or Jordan, one of the two, or either Jordan, Young, Myers, too.
That's all I had. Thank you.
Shit starter.
Corey's just standing there shaking his head. I know it.
Always stopping for you.
The captain is waiting he's trying to censor his team members here.
Oh, he's right here.
He's like, you better not say anything stupid. I'll put you back in suspended protocol.
I've been there before. I don't need that again.
He's got his hand on the laptop. Like if he starts saying something stupid, I'm shutting it.
Shutting
Hey.
it down.
I'm ready to suspend him at about any time.
Uh-oh. Is he almost on there?
Yeah, he's about to get it.
Uh-oh. He's close. Bo's center stage right now.
Oh. Well, never mind.
Go ahead. Just say it.
Jonathan's show sheet right now is thrown way off on these questions.
It is. It's thrown off big time.
Hey, you asked me to come on.
Yeah, I did.
It don't matter. Just say whatever you want.
So, what's your favorite track?
I would have to definitely say either Russellville or I thought Montgomery City and Fulton were good too this year. I really like both of them as well. But Russellville, we've ran there for years, so I like that track.
You have any sponsors or anything that you want to thank for letting you do what you do out there?
I definitely gotta thank Corey for letting me use his shop and letting me use everything that he has and stuff like that. And I gotta thank Wild Card Racing because they're always there if I need something. And I gotta thank my mom and dad. My mom's my biggest fan. She's up there cheering every fucking time that I go out there on the track. It doesn't matter if I win or lose. She's always cheering for me. I gotta thank the wife. She's always there for me if I need something too. But I just gotta thank everybody that we run with, pretty much from New Bloomfield. They always have something to do with us racing. So I gotta thank them as well.
So, what's the key change that you made with your driving this year? Was it just the beer or the soda?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and say it. Yeah, it was definitely I I don't do it as much before the race, so I'm a little smarter when I go out there in the car, for sure. I got my limit of 3, and if I go over that, then something maybe gets sent a little harder than what it should be. So
Nick drinks water all the time.
there you go.
There you go. Well trained.
Yeah.
Is it just like wild card racing versus the world now, or
No,
what's the deal with that?
uh,
You guys
I'm
are
just-
really making a name for yourself.
that's we're having a really good year, and I'm happy how we're turning out. But anything can change in any moment. I'm just glad how the team is turning out, and we're all doing good and stuff like that. Things change over the season and stuff like that, but I'm glad how we're doing right now.
How are you guys preparing for the quote unquote meat of the schedule with our Triple Crown coming up?
Trying to get everything ready that we can, but I don't know how it's gonna go. It just goes by race for that.
Why do you keep looking at Corey? Like, can I say this?
No, I ain't getting in trouble, so. But no, the Triple Crown's a hard one. I mean, it doesn't take much to junk a car tonight at Triple Crown. That's hard to do. Or that's easy to do, but I don't know.
Of the Triple Crown races, what's your favorite one?
It's hard to say. I like Jeff City. I'm not a huge fan of California, but I like the track. There's always a huge turnout for it, which I'm happy for you guys. But I don't know. There's something about California that's always hated me. I've never done good at California, so I like Jeff City a little bit more.
Did you run the race for 28? Have
Oh, yeah.
you ran that race? What do you
Yeah,
think of that?
I love the race for 28. It's an awesome deal. I ran it for 2 years in a row now, or I think 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. Last year I junked my car in it, which was okay. It didn't matter to me, but it's all for a good cause, so I don't care. I'll run that race every year.
Was that a feature? Did you make
Yeah,
the feature?
Yeah, I made the feature, and got roughed up a little bit. And, whatever happens in that race, it happens. It doesn't matter to me.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite races too. I mean, last year I'm sitting there in the announcer's tower and guy gets hit, his whole steering wheel comes off, and he's just driving with the steering wheel in his hand. Then he realizes, oh, this isn't even attached to nothing. Just snapped off the whole column and everything. I mean,
Right.
so
So just going back to your first win, kind of why you're on here and why, aside from leading points, what's the feeling? I feel like you're running first and second with Cardwell, and Cardwell kind of just keeps he just keeps running from you, gaining positions. But what's the feeling when you see his dumbass just drive straight into his teammate and break himself? Is it a relief? Are you happy that he did that? Are you
No,
looking
no.
up as you pass him?
To be honest, Montgomery City and stuff like that, Cardwell had me for sure. I mean, he was running really good. I'll give it to him. That car is quick as hell. And I was just, I hate that happened to him because his car was moving like no other. But, at the end of the night, we all had a good night other than Cardwell. I mean, he had to deal with what he broke, but I don't know what to say about that. I mean, he would have whooped me if he wouldn't have broke. He would have had it. I would have had second from the end of the night, but that wouldn't have bothered me at all because as long as it comes back home, it doesn't matter to me.
I love that answer. Yeah, that's a good answer. It always hates, for me, we always ran, me and Jacob, Jonathan, whenever he was running, we ran first and second a lot of times. And whenever he broke down, when he was beating me, I loved it because I knew I was passing. I wasn't really concerned that he wasn't going to place. You always want to be first and second with you in first, but
Oh yeah,
if it takes him breaking for me to get first, I'm happier than hell.
you're happy when someone gets a little too anxious and gets smoked right in front of you. Yeah, it's happy. I can help.
see, I don't like that. I'd rather see Dylan. I wouldn't have cared if Dylan would have finished in front of me. I'd have been just as happy that night than anything. I mean, that was an awesome night. So
That's awesome. I love that.
as long as we can bring it all home back to New Bloomfield, that's fine with me.
I gotta ask, as a driver, how does it make you feel that we've had what 6 or 7 figure eights this year, different winner every single time? How's that? I mean, this is every year we're saying this, and it's just crazy to me. It's so competitive. As a driver, like how's that make you guys feel?
Uh,
Um,
really, to be honest, I'm loving it because I mean, it's changes things up. I mean, it's not all the same thing all the time, or same person all the time, which everybody is getting better. I mean, everybody that's racing, like for points and stuff like that, everybody is progressing. So it's awesome seeing that different teams and stuff like that come up there and finally place and stuff like that. So I don't mind it at all. I mean, everybody's doing a hell of a job this year. I'm proud of everybody that's fucking out there racing for points and stuff like that.
that's all I got for them. Anyone else has anything else for Nick before I let him off
Sure,
here?
Jacob got something to say.
Well, Nick, we thank you for coming on, bud.
No problem.
Thanks for your hard work and dedication into the sport and as a driver and just as a person. You're always out there. Every time I walk through the pits, I see you guys talking and hanging out with all kinds of people. So,
Hey,
you're good
Nick,
for the sport.
one thing before you get off here, kind of the conversations that I've been having with a few drivers, whether, built motors are the way to go or hydro steering is the way to go. Just looking at lap times and, just even recent results, Do you have a built motor? Do you have hydro steering? Tell these people that what you're competing with.
I have neither one.
Exactly.
I got a motor that's got 335,000 miles on it, and I got a regular rack and pinion on my car. I mean, there's nothing special to it.
So you're telling me that anybody could be winning the lucky 7 points
Oh,
with a stock motor and rack and pinion steering?
Yep.
Mine's blown.
definitely.
I mean, holy shit. I mean, my God, that's unbelievable. You
Somebody
mean these guys are putting thousands of dollars in these motors and you're stomping their asses? Oh,
What's the secret, Nick?
that's unbelievable.
There's no
That is-
secret.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, I'm literally watching you straight away. You're pulling away from these built motors.
My mind's literally blown right now. I thought you had a $4,500 motor. My God, good
There's
Lord.
There's nothing done to the motor, and there's nothing done to the steering. It's all
We're,
stock.
we're gonna have to vacuum test that bitch. I mean, that's all there is to it.
That's what I'm telling you.
That's all.
Nick, thanks for coming on, man. You're
Thank
an
you
awesome
guys for
sport.
having me.
Wild
You
card
always got a
races
smile
is
on your
top.
face. I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you
Supporting
guys
us.
for having us.
Yeah, we like to give you guys a hard time, but we really do love having you guys run our stuff, and it's always fun watching you guys in the pits and just how you interact with each other and other drivers. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, I love it. I'm glad you guys put this on. I'm really proud to be a part of it. So
Yep. So, Jeff said he gonna be there?
oh yeah, Jeff said he will be there definitely. Yep,
We'll see you then.
We'll
Sounds
see you
good.
there, Nick.
Sounds
Have a good
good.
night, Nick.
Wild
Thank
card
you.
races on top.
See you later, Bo.
You'll see you, Bo.
See you, Bo. But
Thanks, Nick.
See y'all.
See ya.
this was Nick Long with Wild Card Racing. He's our current points leader in the figure eight series, and he's a really good guy and it's a great driver. I love the growth that we've seen in his driving abilities in the last couple of years, and maybe some of the guys that run California, just the fair shows, can take a pointer or two from him. But so we had the Derby and the figure eight this week and the bump and run. And then we had two figure eights and a bump and run and demolition derby with lucky sevens this week. And it was it was a lot in 1 week, but we got through it, and it was seemed like every show that we went to, everyone was pretty happy with. So that's good. It just baffles me at them bump and runs look so fun that we don't get more drivers to them things. But so what you guys, as the heads of Lucky Sevens, go? How'd you guys what'd you guys think? Just an overall picture of how the weeks went. And
Crazy week. Crazy week. Got to thank our staff, our wives, everybody that helps us. We couldn't do it without them for sure. Drivers, everybody that shows up, whether it's 20 cars or 50 cars, we appreciate everybody showing up. That's all I got.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I thought we had great racing Wednesday night. Awesome features Thursday, or Friday night, I guess it would be, and then Saturday night. That split up our staff into two unwhole parts is it's always tough on us, but it seemed like, the drivers all worked with us, or at least worked with me, was really patient, and with staff that aren't used to being in those roles. So yeah, thank the drivers for being patient with us. They're always awesome. Thought the show ran really well. Competitive heats, competitive features in every one of them. As far as the bump and run, we had four shows and 4 nights. Those drivers that did come, just hats off to them. Not we're not going to complain that we didn't get a lot of people there. But yeah, it's just tough when you have 4 shows and 4 nights for any driver to try and get to those, the bonus point night, I guess. So, but yeah, fucking awesome racing all nights.
Yeah, it was. So overall, how'd the figure eight go on Saturday? What happened? Anything stand out to you?
Yeah, I mean, there were some really awesome performances. I thought, the track, I knew we were going to have an issue on that one end after the bump and run, had a rut down there on that. So we worked through it. We had to move the tires a couple of times. That just changes the way the track. So it was a new track for the feature that, all of them really just had to try and learn a new driving style after they've been through it in the heats or the consi. And then, yeah, I mean, it was another competitive feature. Like we said, 12 cars drove off. Anthony Wells and Zach Burton, they were 1-2 pretty well from the start. I think Anthony he probably led 12 laps of the 16. Zach kind of got in there on the ends. But really just watching that race and watching it back, like, again, it's, one mistake puts you out. If you go and actually watch it, we're kind of nerds about it. So, like, Nathan Dummermuth ran probably the best race, not taking anything away from Zach or Anthony, but really just putting some solid laps down, making the right reads. But he got caught up one corner. Maybe it wasn't even a mistake, just kind of one of those things, wrong place, wrong time. And he got caught up and just had to try and battle back. He actually got put down a whole lap because of that. But it was like, just thinking, damn, you make one, not even a mistake, you're just kind of in the wrong place, wrong time, and it puts you down a lap and you got to fight back to even get fourth. And just barely got fourth. Blaine was right behind him. So it was just, super competitive. Versailles is always fast, kind of like a bull ring type of thing. So yeah, it was awesome. Not a lot of drama. I guess Dylan White, the old Casey guy that runs the Chiefs car, he was out there making waves. He was out there making waves and got under some skin of a few people. Kurt Turpin, he was back out there. First heat, I think he knocked off 2 back wheels, so that was fun to watch. So I mean, the hammer things. He was out there in a stock car. I think he ended up getting 7th in the feature. So yeah, it was awesome to watch it all the way around. How'd Saturday go in Boone County?
Well, before we get to that, shout out to Camden Tobin getting his first win. That was a good race. I got to watch some videos of that. It was kind of rough, when you're sending a car that your daughter's racing in a different town, and you're like, wonder how that's going on. And she did okay. She took she kind of slid into someone, and she said she kind of got a little shaken up, so she had to.
She led her first lap, so that's a start. I think she's only 2 races in, so you just keep building on those lead laps. But yeah, Camden did awesome. He was in second going into the last corner, and just kept that on straight.
Just led as many laps as Kaylee.
It's all that counts is that last one.
Yeah, buddy.
Just ask Piter. That last lap really matters.
It does.
But yeah, so Columbia. I'll let Jacob take the start on this one. I'll fill in some
Yep.
gaps probably.
Yep. Saturday night, Boone County, we started off with our bone stock. Actually, great show. I will say that for a full size show, it was a wonderful show. A lot of guys from back home, Eldon area. We had a few guys from Columbia. Hard hitting action all night. Dallas Hardy come out and he was just hammered down all night. It was wonderful to see. And what do you think of the bone stock, Jonathan?
Oh man, I loved it. Kenny Slavin's front bumper was probably taller than I am. I'm about 6 foot. I mean, that thing was straight up in the air. Uh, I mean, we had a bunch of Elton boys out there, and even it was really fun to watch. We had Zane Chick out there. He built a bunch of Mad Dog trophies for all the classes. Shout out to him. But he went out there and he was kind of the odd man out. Him and Kenny Slavens, it seemed like, were kind of had their targets on their backs, and it was a good. I mean, for a bone stock show, I was expecting a slow rolling pace, but before the show started, I'm telling you, for anyone that's listening, there wasn't a freaking empty seat in this place. This place was packed up, crowd was full. And when you're pulling on the track and the crowd's just going nuts before the show even starts, I mean, it would be hard to contain your emotions. And I mean, when they would make a hit, you could hear the roar of the crowd. And I mean, it just puts goosebumps in any driver when they're hearing that. So they were putting on a show. And in my opinion, it was the second best show of the night. Behind the team show. But I mean, it was a good derby. I loved it. But who won that?
Kevin DeGraffner won that one.
Yeah, Kevin got first, Jasper got second, Darren Witt got third.
Yeah.
But they earned it, and I was hoping they'd go nose to nose or something. And man, that last Kevin was coming across the track to really waylay old Jasper, but he broke off. So
Yep. Jasper said he's gonna fix the steering shaft and save it for Clinton. So that was a good finish, first, second, father and son. So that's pretty cool. Yep. Kenny, he's already got his car pulled down, ready for Clinton. So hopefully we'll get a good show there.
oh yeah. Then the next class out was the mod compacts. We had some interesting turn of events in that class before it even started. I mean, in the tech line, we have a tire that just blew out just sitting there. I mean, the guy he was just sitting in the tech line waiting and like just sitting there.
Yep. John Aller lost a tire just sitting on the tech line, and then Jake Garnett pulls out on the track, breaks an axle, takes his wife's seat. She gladly gives it up. And then they go out there in Derby.
And big John Petrosky comes through the tech line. Man, I got this thing running great. Didn't he make it to the track? So I don't know what happened to him, but he come out there and said he wasn't going to make it. So I hadn't had a chance to ask him what happened. I did see that he did Derby today, though. So
Yep. He said he was done with EFI. He was buying an intake and a carb, and he was done with it. So, but it looked like it died out on him. So, carb still sucks. But
we had so the show on the track, we had Garrett and Dustin Ferguson from FRD out there. We had Jake Garnett, Big Show.
Big Show. he gave the crowd a show.
Gave him
I
a
seen
full
the tip
moon.
top. He gave him a full moon. Got his gas cap back on. He was pissed at Big D, and hopefully this rolls over to Mocaine, Big D, and show and go head on. Let's see it, baby. Give him a big show.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, it was it's kind of a weird compact show though. I was expecting a lot more, end to end type of stuff that you normally see with mod compacts, but there was a few good shots in there, but to me it just seemed like it was more of a strategy type of a derby.
Unless you were Dustin Ferguson, then you're just going from fucking one end to the other, full out, mad dogging it.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, it
did
was
a
either
great job.
Garrett. Garrett did pretty good too.
Oh, they both did a great job.
He was my
Garrett
pick.
just got
Everybody
to,
else picked Dustin.
yeah, Garrett just has to learn not to hit with his front tire.
That'll that'll happen. But shout out to Brandon Piter bringing home the win. Second place was
Guy from Fort Greg Neal.
Greg
Neal
Neal.
got second.
I don't even know who got third. I don't have it in front of me. But
Big D.
Yep.
Derek Dudley,
Derek got third.
starter went
Yep.
out. Yep.
Yep.
He was doing really good and his car died and his starter went out. I asked him what happened out
I
there.
wonder-
He told me
I wonder what he has on top of his intake. Weird. Like a carburetor or something, maybe.
yeah.
I don't know. You don't need
But,
a starter for EFI. But anyways.
Yeah, man, that's probably what he had, his carburetor. But he told me the starter went out.
Yeah, you don't need a starter for EFI.
Then we kind of rolled right into the street stocks, and man, that was probably the fastest street stock derby I've ever been a part of. 2 minutes
Yeah,
and 7 seconds.
I fucking fell asleep so quickly.
Trey Heater brought a wagon. He was shopping wheels, and yeah, I don't know who took out the axle. Someone got an axle taken off, like right off the rip, and
Yeah, Jerry Lewis lost his axle.
yeah, it was just a quick. I mean, it's probably like 2 or 3 minutes running time. So, but the winners of that was Trey Hoover won. Rob got second. White.
White got
Can't
third.
remember his first name.
William.
Yeah, William White got third. So then we kind of got into our team show. What was that?
I'm not gonna say nothing about that fucking street stop.
Team show was next. So, man, we had 12 teams signed up, 11 showed up. Everyone that showed up, so as far as the tech went, they fixed everything that they had to run. So, we had some guys that were trying to push rules here and there, but I mean, it was normal, easy, the stuff they probably knew they're gonna have to change. So, they pull on the track and the flag drops, and it was a show from there. I mean, they all kind of chose which side of the track they wanted to go onto, and then it was kind of on from there. I felt bad for Tyler Ray. He ran out of gas before the flag dropped, but he said it's ready for the next one. And there's just some weird things happen out there. Kyle Wardenhausen had a wire that grounded out real quick on him. And man, 573 Wrecking Crew came out with Mad Dog. They got picked. I personally thought the Tobin's Towing Crew was right there too. That's who I picked, but I mean, they were junking people, and both teams were, I mean, end to end. And
Oh, it was neck and neck between them guys and the black and yellow cars. It was an awesome show. I couldn't have been happier with it.
that was so the total show, the Fairboard guy came down. He's like, man, it's 3 hours and I wanted a 3 hour show, and it's 3 hours and 2 minutes. So it was
2
really
minutes,
good.
yeah.
So, um, the whole crowd stayed the whole time. I mean, they didn't leave. Had a huge 50-50 pot. Them girls did good and had a lucky winner from right there in Columbia. So
Yeah, I actually talked tonight to somebody at the golf course that was there watching, and they said that the Hobo Team Show, that was the highlight of the night. So you guys did a great job. You guys put it on for the fans, and they really appreciated it.
we seen the normal team show thing. It was a clear pecking order out there. And when you were the one being pecked on, holy crap.
Yeah, I guess something happened between Seth the West Floor and Brandon Wardenhausen. We might as well just bring it up right here on the podcast. So I hope to see it at Clinton. Maybe a little bit of one-on-one action, a little grudge match, baby.
Yeah, it got wild. I don't know what happened between that, but
What did happen with that? I wasn't there.
Yeah, John. Yeah, Jonathan, you were over there, right there.
You're
I
the
don't
happened?
know. I
You're the
still don't know.
security.
I was trying to listen.
Is
I
it
think
on the live chat right now?
Let me check.
From what I hear, there was a pecking order dispute.
Oh, that's probably what it was. That is not on there, but we have several people that said probably the best derby and the most energy I've seen from the fans, and I'll agree with that. It's the energy was not a normal county fair energy there. I mean, them
Did you leave
fans
the
were going,
announcer stand to go back
what?
there and security again? Like you have been doing the last couple shows? Head of security / announcer?
You didn't have to. They were going to handle it on the track, and it would have been awesome. The camera was ready.
You didn't take the microphone out there?
Oh no, I should have. But
Hell, I think that happened during the Derby, didn't it?
oh yeah, I was right in the middle of the Derby. They were
Yeah.
out there in the middle of the track. There, I had to say, let's get them off the track so we can get the countdown done. But what I noticed was, holy crap! Once Jordan got taken out, Wes was kind of a lone ranger, and they all noticed it. There was like 6 cars that just they were like out for blood.
I do want to give Jordan and Wesley props because they drive pretty damn good as a team. I will say that. Poor Bungie, he got just pile drived over there.
Oh yeah, they were
And
both
them two,
backing up and sending.
yep, them two worked him over, and Bungie was just a great sport after the Derby. I said, "How do you feel?" He said, "That was so much fun." I said,
He said,
"Holy, I
Did
would have been
did he
sore."
tell you? Did Bungie
What
tell you?
uh-uh.
He goes, dude, look at my tooth. Half his tooth was gone. Chipped his tooth. He said, I must
Oh
have
my.
either hit my face on something. He said that his visor that he had on, it was a full face helmet. He said it snapped off. He smoked the steering wheel or something, and then a couple hits later, he freaking chipped his tooth.
Yep. I will say them two run very well together. Whew.
But it came down to teams are engineering and BAS, and man, that last hit that got the crowd pumped by Landon.
I'd like to know how long them two were just going at it. It seemed like it was forever. It was a hell of a chess match.
It was a huge battle, and both of them got out of the cars, and Jacob immediately is like, "We gotta get these guys waters." They both looked like they were worn plumb thin, and heck, Cody Bedsworth he didn't even have a fan, so his car was overheating for probably 20 minutes, and he was just sucking in, them
Hmm.
that steam and stuff, and it sucks when you're in the car doing that. uh, Props to them guys. They were. I mean, every team you look across there, everyone was doing the best they could, and it's just something that team show element brings when you're out there. Look at Seth. I mean, he was holding his positive cable on the battery probably for 3 minutes, just trying to make hit after hit. Every time he'd make a hit, it'd come off because he'd get jolted and he'd put it back on there. That cable had to be smoking hot. I mean,
Yeah, and Garrett Jones, he was his teammate Brandon. He dropped out early. Garrett was out there by himself. You could tell he was definitely the last in the pecking order. He hung tight for a long, long time. He was doing
oh
great.
yeah, he kind of stayed off everybody's radar, or maybe if they had a plan in the pits before that, but they kind of left him alone until they didn't.
Yeah. Yep.
He probably got the fastest lap though. Cody told us before the show that he was going to get a fastest lap, but he didn't. Garrett had to
Yeah.
beat.
He drives his gut and go just like he drives a figure eight car. All gas, no brake.
Yeah, he hit the brakes when he was about to hit somebody.
That's true.
It was a survivor game, and hats off to all the drivers. That was just an awesome show. Everyone's been asking when the video's going up. I've been working on getting all the videos from the last couple shows up on YouTube.
Been working. I believe you're on the golf course today. There,
Yeah,
John.
they're uploading. They're uploading. They take a while to upload, so I'm done now with them. That's a
You
waiting
play
game now.
18 holes with mom? I mean, that's a long time.
Oh my gosh, she kept going for every time she'd hit it. Just driving dad nuts. I loved it. Dad just every time she'd do that, he'd just throw his hands up like, the hell. Just hit the damn ball, Chanda. I can just see it. But yeah, we got through the first 12 really quick, and then there was like 40 guys from Kentucky. So they're piling up the course. But we want to thank everybody just that came out, and it was a great week. We got Clinton this Saturday night. It's gonna be a
Before
really
we
good
move
show.
on, I want to thank Landon Worthy, BAS, AAA Foam, and Appy's Concession. They all kicked in on the Happy Gilmore checks for Columbia, Boone County Fair. So I just want to throw them all out there before we moved on to Clinton.
Yeah, and them drivers, they were thrilled with them checks. Everyone's like, I didn't even know we were getting big checks, except for the team show. That they all the other classes they had checks there. They were just thrilled. And hats off to you guys for the trophies. Holy crap, those were sweet.
Yeah, them suck ass putting together. Holy fuck.
Those were
Kate,
awesome looking.
my daughter helped us put them together, and she said if somebody throws these in their trucks, I'm kicking their asses.
Yes, big shout out to Henry Ray for bringing checks.
Yeah.
Thanks. I forgot them at my house in the truck, and I go. Jacob was saying something about a check, and I instantly said, "Oh my gosh, forgot them at Eldon." and thank gosh Henry hadn't left yet. So I knew I was forgetting something. The whole way up there, I was like, I know I'm just forgetting something.
These big, humongous checks is all I was
Yeah.
forgetting.
It was a good night. And the fair board, they seemed pretty pleased with the show. And I was glad that they worked with us on the track. The track when we got there was pretty small. And then they had 3 skid loaders out there moving dirt, a lot of dirt. I mean, they were moving a ton of dirt for hours on end, and they got it fixed up for us. So that's all I got. What about Clinton, guys?
Move on. That was a great week. I'm ready to move on to Clinton. Bone stock, gut and go, and street stock, I believe, right, Joshua?
That's correct. Yep.
We'll be
There is
looking
street
at
stock.
Yep. You'll be looking at a big car count and bone stock. Them guys up there, that's their bread and butter. Gut and go, we'll get a bunch of them. Street stock, easy money again.
Yep. I think it'll be a
I
good
thought I
show.
heard it.
I think, yep. Looking forward, we'll start getting the race for 28 stuff out for people wanting to donate for that. It's usually about this time of year we start putting stuff out for that. But yeah, heart of kind of the end of the heart of the Derby season, I'd say. You know, we got our 2 big shows out of the way, Boone County and Clinton. Or Clinton's going to be out of the way, then it'll be Triple Crown season. You know, best time of the year.
I'm excited for Clinton. We heard last year that it was a great show, and I can't wait to go experience it. Just see the layout of the track sounds interesting, and from what I hear, I mean the show last year was really good. So I hope to see the same thing this year.
Yep. So Joshua was talking about race for 28. We're gonna do the same thing this year. 28 spots, $50 a spot. If you guys want to hit me or Joshua up, if you guys want to sponsor any particular spot from 5th down to 28th, if you guys want to reserve them spots, go ahead and hit us up.
All right. Anything else that you guys want to throw out there?
Just can't thank everybody enough for showing up these last couple of weeks. Montgomery County, we didn't really talk about it, and fuck, you haven't had a podcast in months. Crash has kind of really been this golf game is really hindered Crash's ability to turn out content. But yeah, just I think this is the first one since season opener or maybe New Bloomfield. So just a lot of good shows, a lot of good drivers. We just can't thank everybody enough for all the support. It's really humbling for me to look back and go, damn, we had Montgomery City, which is 2.5 hours away from us on a Wednesday and pulled 30 cars. We had 4 shows and 4 nights this week after 2 weeks off. And, you know, we pulled some really good car counts, and the action on the track was even better than the car counts show. And really just, you know, not a whole lot of drama, other than here and there, the normal stuff, but it's not like, you know, it's not dumb stuff, that you know, is out of the norm, or you'll get from other areas of the state. So we're so blessed, and I just can't thank everybody enough. You know, we're always going to give people shit, but if, you know, when we really get down to it, we got the best fucking drivers that I've ever been around. So, and fans and staff. So
Yeah, for sure. We love to give our drivers shit, but we love them for sure.
That's good. Any last words? All right. But like I said,
Oh yeah. Why before you get off here, uh, I know you touched on it, different winners, but we had, let's see, I think Jordan Piter had his first win since 2001. So really dusted the cobwebs off.
Holy shit! That guy still drives. I
I
didn't even know
know. Yep. So he had his first win in an extremely long time. I don't know if I don't know if you remember what it felt like. So shout out to him. He won the bump and run in
that. Yeah,
Versailles.
that motherfucker is literally hugging everybody. It was insane. He was just walking through the crowd hugging people. I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. He's yeah, shout out to him. He's been working his ass off. I know. What are we up to, Jonathan? Did you say 8 different winners? I don't remember how many shows we've had, but it's been,
great. I counted them all right before I said it.
yeah, so it's been a lot. Lane Tibergen, made his first feature. I think Bryce Wather, he made a feature earlier. So it's been some new guys getting in for the first time. It's always fun to see. It's awesome to see these new guys get in there. Kind of the whole wild card racing starting to, assert some dominance in the figure eight side. It's awesome to watch. I'm
Yeah,
glad.
guys,
I'm glad I get to watch it.
we always say it. It doesn't matter what kind of car or what kind of money you make. You guys always have a chance in this sport. So that's why we love it.
That's true. Everyone has to race on the same track, and it's not always about who has the most power. That's what thing I tell my daughter all the time. I said, "Hey, you start spinning, let out of it, but get them tires some traction." And it's going to be a good show. In Clinton, I can just feel it. I don't know if everybody knew
Didn't
there was a street stock show. There's a class though. I literally had 3 people tell me there wasn't one, so
what do you think we were running?
I didn't know. But Eddie
Hey,
Chick, there you go. There is
yep,
going to be a street stock in Clinton.
stitches are back, baby.
Uh, I think that's about it for tonight. Thanks everybody for tuning in to the Crashed It podcast. This weekend we'll be at Clinton, Missouri. I have a bunch of people every time they tell me they want to be the one in the reel that's being the one that's hitting people and not the one being hit. And my only response to those people was, well, then you got to be the one, the hammer, not the nail. So if anyone wants to be on the reel in Clinton, you got to send that thing from end to end.
Send it,
Um,
bend it, baby.
that's right. Send it and bend it. And we'll see. We'll see everybody at Clinton. Thanks for tuning in. Send them and bend them. I don't know how to stop. Stop.
It's been too long since you did one of these. You don't even know how to.
No,
That
they
was-
changed everything.